Hey guys, Nick Biddle here coming at you with this week's Drip. Still coming to you from Big Sky, Montana. This is the fourth and final step of our series around blind spots that leaders face. And this fourth one, it's complacency. If you ever find yourself saying, well, this is the way we've always done it, and I want you to slap yourself. Sometimes we always do something a certain way because that's the best way and that's what works. But a lot of times, it's because we're stuck in a rut and we're refuse to change or hear new ideas. And I get to work with a lot of apprentices, a lot of journeymen, and one of the biggest frustrations that they have is when they're working with a leader who refuses to consider what's possible. And I get it. Sometimes you're on a schedule, you're on a budget, you don't have time for new ideas, but sometimes we do. And are you a leader who's open to change? Or are you an individual who may appear to be stuck in a rut and is doing something just because that's how we've always done it? Don't be that individual that does something just because we've always done it that way. I'm reminded of the story of the new married couple, and you've probably heard this, but they got married, and wife goes in to make a ham. And before she puts the ham in the oven, she cuts the end off the ham. And the new husband doesn't know better, but he asks his wife, well, why'd you cut the end off the ham? And she said, because that's how we've always done it, and that's what my mama did. And so, but this new bride, she wanted to, give her husband a good answer. So she went to her mom, and she said, well, Mom, my husband's asked me why we always cut the end off the ham before we cook it. And I wanted to make sure there wasn't a big dog running up on me. Just a minute ago, had a big Doberman Pinscher just come right up on me while I was doing these videos, about scared me to death. But she talked to her mom, and her mom said, well, because that's what Grandma always did. She always cut off the end of the ham, and that's just what you do if you're going to cook a ham. And so the young bride ended up going to Grandma, and she said, Grandma, what's going on? I mean, we can't figure out why we cut the end of the ham off before we cook it. So why do you do that? And mom says that she does it because you did it. And she said, well, I always do it because my pan was too short. Her pan was too small, and so the only way to get the ham in the pan was to cut the end of it off. But so good reason for her to cut the end of the ham off, but not for anybody else who had a bigger pan. So if you're doing stuff just because we've always done it that way, let's reconsider. And I know timing plays a big role in this, but let's reconsider why we're doing something. Guys, hoping to be headed somewhere warmer pretty soon. But think about the blind spots that you might have as a leader. Figure out a way to go around, over, through some of those blind spots to improve how you lead. And I'll do the same, guys. Until next time, take care.